Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation, and today we're going to talk about Tier 3 Professor X. Now, first of all, guys, I think he looks pretty cool. I would prefer the wheelchair look just because that's the more traditional look. He really does remind me of Reed the Maker, you know, in that alternate story. But it's cool. The X looks really wild. I love the reflection. Pretty wild, man. So let's talk about this guy. You know, I'm going to do this video a little bit different as we're going to go into him, we're going to talk about him, his effects, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare him to another tier 3 guys. I think in the past videos that's what I should have done, maybe compare like some of these other tier 3 characters like Magneto, Wolverine, maybe with some other characters so you guys get an idea of just how strong characters are. And in the APK, you know, the stats are low, but the stats are low on all these characters. So it's actually a pretty fair comparison when you're doing it on the APK. So we're going to do that today. So let's get to talking about old boy. Now we don't care about the stats and all that crap right at the moment. We just want to talk about this other stuff. So his tier 3 decreases mind blast and mind resist by 30%, ignores immunity for 5 seconds. What this is, guys, is a form of mind control. That's what this mind blast, mind resist is. He pretty much lobotomizes the characters, and this, you know, obviously it works in World Boss. And they just sit still and don't do anything. Unlike mind control where they're attacking, you know, you're making characters attack each other. So it's actually pretty cool. It really fits him. He gets this decreased mind resistance down by 40%, which also applies to World Boss. You got the ignore target dodge rate by 100%, which is amazing. You take him against Corvus. Every time he uses tier 3, you're going to have max ignore dodge, which is awesome. It penetrates everything except for, well, it penetrates everything. Has an 80% chance for 10 seconds. Whether or not this guy's going to be good in PvP, I don't really think so, to be honest, guys, but you never know. He might be. I mean, if the characters don't have a debuff, he's pretty much got this mind blast and mind resist on almost all his skills. So he could lock them down and beat the hell out of them. Plus he has some long skill cooldowns. So it's possible, but we just don't know in the APK because we can't test him in PvP. He gets a 10-second invincibility. He gets this this is just kind of silly to me. Increased damage by 20% for one attack. I think that's just dumb. Why is it just 20%? I mean, it seems kind of silly. It almost seems like Netmarble's trolling us with that. Like, I'm wondering if this is a typo and it's supposed to be 120%. I don't really understand the 20% thing. I think that's just silly. But okay, whatever. The tier 2 passive. Increased mind damage by 20%. Pretty cool. The 1 skill. And you see right here, we got the decreased mind blast, mind resist. And again, this is a form of mind control that lasts for 1 second. So there's some crowd control. He's got the mind blast, mind resist again on the 2nd skill. Form of crowd control. And then the 3rd skill, again, mind blast, mind resist, and it applies for 2 seconds. So right now you got a second, 4 seconds of mind control. Wait a minute, let me look something real quick. And plus he's got the guard hit for 8 hits for 8 seconds, which we don't really care about guard. Good in Shadowland, useless in World Boss. And he has to increase all attack buff by 25%. And the beautiful thing about this is you can cancel this skill. You can hit the 3, cancel it right into your other skills. It's pretty sweet, guys. Scroll down a little bit here. Now the 4th skill. Again, he has Mind Blast, Mind Resist, applies to World Boss. Removes incapacitation for 2 seconds. Mind Resistance down, that lasts for 10 seconds, stacks up to 40%. I mean, it's a pretty good looking kit, guys. The 5th skill. He has Mind Control for 1 second. Then he has a decreased Mind Blast, Mind Resist. That applies to World Boss, lasts for 3 seconds. He has a heal, 15% recovery of max HP. He has invincibility, which gives him native super armor that lasts for 5 seconds. He has damage accumulation, which is amazing based on how much damage you deal. This is amazing, especially since his main attacking skill. And you can use it using the V-pad, so you can put the character wherever you want. Pretty sweet setup. Then you got the 4-star passive, which this is kind of stupid. 90% chance to become immune to mind damage. Honestly, guys, this should be like a 99 or 100%. This is kind of silly. Professor X is like the mind god pretty much in Marvel, so it's kind of dumb. Whatever. And then the leadership, he has applies to mutant allies, 20% increase of all attack, increased mind resistance by 50%. I know a lot of people have complained about this, and rightfully so. I mean, he really is the leader of the X-Men. You know, and some people argue, why is Cyclops stronger than him, and blah, blah, blah. Why not stronger, but why does he have a better leadership? You can make the argument, guys, that it's because Cyclops actually goes out in the field a whole lot more often than Professor X. Professor X kind of sits at home, if you know what I mean. But you could also make the counter argument that Professor X taught him everything he knows and blah, blah, blah. Personally, I don't think it's a massive deal, but I do think it should be a little bit better. It should at least be, you know, the same as Cyclops, or maybe a little bit better. At least it should be 35% or 40%, somewhere in there. Maybe more. Honestly, it should. So let's preview his skills and talk about the rotation. So his main damaging skill is the 5th skill, and if you're playing with a damage proc, and the thing is, guys, it's got a long skill cooldown on it. But what you can do, at least in the testing that I've done, is you can hit the 3 skill, cancel it immediately, get your attack buff, hit your 4, get your mind resistance down, that applies to the world bosses, and then go straight into the 5. So it's 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. So 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. And boom. And usually you can put the proc on the 5th skill. Every once in a while, the 4th skill will trigger the proc, but this is what I'm going to do. And then afterwards, what you can do is you can hit the 1, you'll get that mind blast very quickly, whereas the 2 takes a little bit of a moment for it to apply. There it applied. So I like to hit the 1 afterwards to keep the boss under mind control, or under mind blast, whatever you want to call it, and then go into the 2 afterwards, because you want to rotate through your skills so you can get the tier 3 off cooldown. So again, we'll do it again. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, damage proc on the 5. You're going to let this thing play completely out during the damage proc, guys. Boom! You get that explosion at the end. You want to make sure you get that while your damage proc is engaged. Now, that skill has a long duration time. So you're only going to have about a second, maybe a second and a half left on the damage proc. So you want to quickly use your 2 and your 1, or just use the 1 skill and skip the 2. You're going to start your rotation all over again using the 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. So what you can do after that, before you use the tier 3, you can either hit the 3 to get your attack buff, or you can just go into the tier 3, like so. And the thing about the tier 3, and this is where a rage or a CTP of judgment would be really powerful in this guy, as soon as he signs off, if you will, he waves his hand at you, you can cancel this skill and go into another skill. You could go into your 4 and then your 5 right afterwards, or go into your 3, cancel 4, cancel 5 right afterwards, get tremendous damage. I mean, if you're playing with a rage or a CTP of judgment, guys, he's going to put out quite a bit of damage. And another reason I do that 4 before the 5 is if you hit the 4, now look at the damage. It has continuous damage. You see their souls kind of rising up out of them. That's pretty freaking cool. Maybe not their souls, but you get what I'm saying, guys. Like their psionic energy popping up out of them. Look at this. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I love it. But you got all that residual damage coming from the 4th skill. So let's get out of here. And this rotation might not be perfect, but it seems to be doing okay. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to compare this guy versus, well, you bastard, versus, if I can find old boy, Cyclops. And we're doing it for obvious reasons. One, they're both blast characters. They're both tier 3. Cyclops actually has a better leadership and that 35% all attack, and Professor X just has that 20%. So let's take a look at their builds. So Professor X has 35,300 energy attack. He has 114 attack speed, 13 crit rate, 170 critical damage, and 40% ignore defense. That is terrible, guys. He has max skill cooldown, and he does have the leadership tag, which means you can use him with White Fox. Just something to note. Personally, I thought he should have had maybe like a leadership of his own, similar to White Fox, that he offers to the characters. Maybe something like Nick Fury would have been pretty cool, but okay, it is what it is. But remember these stats, guys. 114, 13, 170, 40. He has no Urus. All of his gears are 25, obviously. He has no ISO 8 set. And we're rocking the CTP of energy with a 200% damage proc. And his uniform is, well, he doesn't have a uniform. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Now, Cyclops, check this out. He has 42,000 energy attack. 42,000. Massive difference. Actually, let me show you something. Let me show you guys something. Now he's in the leadership role. My bad. He's got 44,500 energy attack. Because when you put characters in the leadership, they're going to get their leadership buff, so we want to make that fair. 44,000, guys, it's insane. He has 120 attack speed, he has 11 crit rate, critical damage, so the crit rate and critical damage is virtually the same. Their ignore defense, Cyclops has 3% more ignore defense than Professor X, and Cyclops has max skill cooldown. So Cyclops is already at an advantage with this freaking energy attack. 44,500 versus 35,000. That is, I mean, guys, that is over 9,000 more energy attack. 9,000. That is a freaking lot. He has all Urus. Take a look at this guy's Urus. Look at this. So he's got 6-star, 5-star. You know, look at this. I mean, he's built pretty well. He's built pretty damn well. Okay, so one of the reasons his energy attack is so much higher. We don't care about his skills. He has no ISO Ace set, the same as Professor X. He's rocking a CTP of energy with a 200% damage proc, same as Professor X. And he has a mythic uniform. So we're comparing a character that has a uniform to a character that has no uniform. We're comparing a character that has over 9,000 more energy attack versus a character that doesn't. Plus, I'm comparing them because they're both elemental characters. You know, you take a look at the stats, he's getting that energy attack and all attack buff from here. I mean, guys, Cyclops has a massive advantage. So, let's go into the world boss and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So first we're going to take on Cole. We'll try old Cole first. Stage 44. And remember, my raid level, look at this, guys, we're in the red. My raid level is below 300. We'll start off with Professor X. Here we go. Now, I don't need to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and put Rachel in there just because we'll have her for Cyclops and Professor X just to keep it the same as far as our strikers. Alright, no defense down, none of that crap. Just going to compare their damage with the CTP of energy. Now, here we go. Here we go. Now, hopefully I don't set off the proc early. That's the one, bad thing about what I'm about to do. But we'll see, we'll see. So there we go. And there's the proc. And I let that explosion happen. Now we're going to wait. 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 There we go. And we're waiting for that proc to hit. There's the proc. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get our attack buff here. Now we're going to use our tier 3. And if I can, I'm going to try to go into the 4 or 5. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so I'm going to run over here. Freaking. Let's come over here. There we go. So far, guys, that proc there, the proc hit a little late there. Now I'm going to wait. There we go. Now we're going to hit the tier 3. As soon as he signs off, we're going to go into that 4 or 5. Look at this. Look at that damage, guys. And then we get that mind control. Now, in 1 minute, we got down to right here, almost to the 15th bar. Almost to the 15th bar in 1 minute. Now, let's see what Cyclops does. Okay, switch out, oh boy. Put Cyclops in there. Alright, here we go. Almost to the 15th bar. Let's see what he does. Now, hopefully I can keep my procs lined up where they belong. Hopefully it triggers when we hit that fifth skill. Here we go. Come on. And the proc didn't trigger. Okay, so it triggered right there. That's not where we want it, but that's okay. That's okay. Get off. There we go. There we go. There we go. If anything, you can definitely see that Professor X is definitely a lot safer to play. Here we go. Alright. There's our proc. Come on. There we go. Alright, here we go. Back up. That 3. Alright, here we go. We'll go ahead and let that hit. Now there, look at that, guys. Now I even let this go on a little bit longer than what it was. You know, it was 4 minutes before and we were down to the 16. Look at this. We're only down to the end of the 17. So Professor X did one more bar than Cyclops and having 9,000 less energy attack than Cyclops with virtually the same build. Now I know this wasn't a perfect run, but still, guys, you know, we let it go on. We got in that extra tier 3, and I mean, seriously. So guys, you can definitely see that Professor X is stronger than Cyclops, at least with a CTP of energy for sure, which I'm pretty sure he's going to be stronger with a rage as well. Pretty damn insane, having 9,000 less energy attack than Cyclops and still being able to do more damage against Call. I mean, it's pretty freaking nuts, guys. It's pretty freaking nuts. So let me know what you guys are thinking about Professor X. You know, I mean, Cyclops can do 99 Ebony, he can do 99 Coal, although it's a little difficult for him. But I think it's going to be a lot easier for Professor X because he's got all that mind control, more or less mind control, mind blast, whatever. And he's just got really good damage. He's going to be able to do it probably with a damn CTP of energy, maybe even with a damage proc. We'll have to wait and see till we get the actual update. But so far, I'm really liking Professor X. I don't think he's going to be a top tier 3, if you know what I mean. I don't think he's on Sharon Rogers level or Luna or nothing like that. But he's definitely going to be a good tier 3 in my opinion. So let me know how you're feeling about him. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.